guys, I'm Alyse.
And I'm John.
And we're with the Heart of Austin Homes team in
Austin, Texas.
Austin, Texas.
Powered by Keller Williams.
Yeah.
Gotta get a shout out to the broker in there.
Shout out.
What are we doing today?
What are we doing today, John? We're talking about the stats for Austin.
Are we going to talk about real estate stats? Is that what we do?
Sometimes.
Yeah, pretty much. Like every month.
Actually, multiple times a week we talk about Austin stats. We just happen to talk about them on video.
That's true.
At least once a
on
month.
The Facebooks.
On the Book of Faces.
And the things and the platforms.
And the tubes of you.
The tubes of you. It's like a really bad romance novel, right? Or maybe a pornographic novel. Okay, no, we're not going to go there.
We did, though, we did.
We did. Okay, well, let's clean this thing up a bit and go back
Scrub
to
my brain.
Austin stats for July. In August.
Because you need a full month of stats. So in August, we can give you the July stats.
So that way I don't give you incomplete ones in August.
We would not give you incomplete ones. So let's kick it off with the number of available single-family homes in the Austin market.
Available.
What is it, John?
It is 1,169.
1,169. And just to give you an idea, that is down 22.5%. There are 22.5% less homes available than there were in the same month last year. But
it seems like it keeps always going down year over year.
Yeah, but it's up 22% from the previous month.
Month over month, okay.
Because the previous month we were at 958, and now we're up to 1,169.
So seasonally, we're seeing that growth curve, or for the viewers, like this growth curve, if this is January and that's December.
If I'm January,
like that.
He's December.
Yeah, it's going like that, right? So we're coming up, but the whole line is lower than where it was last year, because I love graphs.
Yeah. And that is a breath of fresh air to see the market slow some, given that it's been so balls to the wall and just inventory dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping.
Yeah, so we're flattening the curve. Maybe.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. The first derivative is approaching zero.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's doing its seasonal thing. Mm-hmm. Like this is a much closer fall to like a regular fall.
Until like the Delta variant comes back and spikes us, and then who knows how it's gonna like mess everything up for the last half of the year, the beginning of next year. It's nuts.
Let's go back to a normal seasonality.
We're down year over year, 20%, but up 20% month over month.
Yeah, definitely 22%.
Okay,
so number of solds though is almost exactly the same, 1,135. That's kind of nice because we have about a month of inventory.
The same from when?
I'm saying about the same number of solds as our actives.
Oh, okay, got it.
It's only off by a little bit, right?
So everything comes in is going right back out.
Exactly, like we have about 1 month of inventory.
Yep.
And that feels refreshing because I mean, we got down to like a week and a half worth of inventory there for a little bit.
Yep.
And so it's kind of nice. Like we have a whole month of inventory.
Kind of nice.
I know. 3 months, by the way, is considered a lightning fast market. Yeah. 6 months is considered a balanced market. We have 1 month of inventory.
Is that like a nano market?
It's
something faster than lightning.
Micro market.
Faster than lightning. No, lightning's still light speed, so can't get any faster than that. Not going to get metaphysical.
Right, you've out-geeked me. We are down almost 22%, 21.9% from last year in number of solds.
Year over year. So what was it last year?
Last year it was at 1,455 for the July 2020.
And that was still like after the March
for number of homes selling. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
but there was also, you know, this was a little bit, this was picking back up after things got weird in March and April. And so May, June, July were all pretty busy.
Come back,
Yeah, and then I mean, fall and winter last year were just crazy.
Yeah, people were fully like, hey, this is fine, let's go buy and sell houses.
Yeah, definitely.
And then month over month?
Month over month from June to July of this year, we're down 7% in number of sales, which is just regular old seasonality, which just makes my heart happy to see us return to some sense of normalcy in the market. Well, as much as we can get to normalcy.
It's more normal.
Right now.
Versus less normal. Okay, so this is the fun part. Pricing.
So we are at $650 for the city, median home price. If you lined up all the prices of everything that's sold from smallest to biggest, and you chose the one in the middle, $650. And what was it last month, John Blackman?
$650.
So our prices, our median home price for the city for single family homes has stayed the same.
I think that's the first time
in quite some time.
In making these videos where that number has stayed the same.
We've been making these videos for what, a couple years now?
A couple years.
Yeah, and it's so nice. But you know, then you look at year over year between July 2020 and July 2021, and we're up 39.6%.
Yeah.
So us staying the same is like all of us just taking a deep breath at the end of a marathon.
Yeah, so we had this crazy run up, and most of that gain was in the first half of this year.
Yeah.
Right, so I say probably 30% of that 40% was maybe in the first half of this year.
And it would be very easy to be like, oh, we've reached a point, we're gonna start to come back down. Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac, they just adjusted their projections for the whole country.
The predictions.
The predictions.
Mm-hmm.
Predictions. Kiwi.
I know what you mean, though. You could say projection to someone, and they'd be like, "Yeah, I know what you mean."
Because what else could that be? But their projections for the year, and they're expecting, they just doubled the growth that they expected in home prices. Their predictions for the next year, and it's at 14.5 or 14.9%. They expect the median home price in the United States to grow by.
That's a national number.
It is, and Austin tends to grow
more than the national number.
Exactly.
So we shall see.
Lest you think like, oh, we're gonna start to go down. Like, no, Apple, Facebook, Amazon, like all these places are starting to hire. And these people need a place to live. So the chances of the Austin market going down, like almost no one is predicting that right now.
Well, I mean, a bunch of inventory would have to show up, and the city has increased their capacity for passing permits.
Yes.
So that's good. They've got a new building, all that stuff. I may have said that last time. So we'll see. I mean, I'm really curious to see at the end of the year if we're gonna get more than 10,000 permits. So if they get to 15,000, like, well, that might start making a dent.
Start making a dent. But at the same time, when you're selling 1,100 plus per month just in the city, like that still doesn't get us up to, the 6 months that we need of inventory,
et cetera. True. I mean, but 1,100 per month, that's what?
And those are going to drop over the course of a year,
right. But that's about 15,000 per year. But I mean, the thing is, like, that number's not really that representative because there's a lot of stuff that's inside the month.
And with at least 12 to 15,000 jobs promised of people being largely moved into Austin.
So what can happen faster?
We need a place.
Building or
hiring.
Or moving in.
Yeah.
Building or hiring. Building or hiring. So those are the two things.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's all of Austin. Now do you want to do...
Let's do South Austin.
South Austin.
We love South Austin.
Yeah, this is where we live.
So this is 78739, 78749, 78745, and 78748. So just to let you know what we refer to when we say South Austin.
Yep.
For just our purposes here.
Like, look at this lovely map. I just made work for the editors now. They got to put a map.
I know, they got to put a map. Poor editors. Okay, so actives for South Austin, those 4 zip codes, we're at 218 homes total available.
Right, which is a subset of the 1169.
Yep,
okay,
definitely.
So how are we year over year?
What's funny about that is that we're up almost 24%.
Wow.
Since the same last year as far as what was available, but we're also up almost 24% from the month before. So basically,
you get the seasonality.
This is just seasonality coming back.
Plus, if it's more than the year over year, more people are selling in South Austin. So I guess either people are cashing out and saying like, hey, my house has gained so much value, I'm ready to move somewhere else, and here, buy my house for 4 times what I paid for it.
And we have definitely seen that ourselves. People calling in saying, I'm ready. I was planning on moving in the next couple of years. Might as well be now.
Yep, numbers are good.
Yeah,
yep.
Let's do this thing. And how many houses sold in that amount of time, Jim?
245.
So less than a month inventory in South Austin. Yep. If we're selling 245 and we only have 218 to sell, divide one by the other, we have less than 1 month.
We should have a little shrinkage next month.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Definitely. And that is down 23% from last year and down 1.6% from last month. So, a little bit of change from last month.
You would think that like, hey, there's less inventory, so the solds are down, but there's actually more inventory and sales are down. So maybe that means there's people who are saying like, well, I'm not really willing to pay as much for that South Austin home. Right?
Yeah. Well, things are just slowing a bit. Like
Yeah.
this would be the time when things would slow in a normal market.
Yep.
And because people were expecting to send their kids back to school in the fall, and I think a lot of people still are planning on sending their kids back, we're seeing the normal drop off.
Yep. Everyone's got to get done and ready for school, and they don't want to move
Yeah.
in August, September.
Yeah. And then median home price, John.
This one's kind of fun. This
Yeah.
one is $585,000, which is, let me do quick math, $65,000 less than the Austin median. But year over year,
we're up 44.5%. So it's
Compared
grown
to-
more.
compared to 38
39.
for
Yeah.
Austin.
Yeah.
But month over month,
We are up 1.7%.
right? So we're still seeing the acceleration in
Yeah.
South Austin. It's I would say it's still flattening off somewhat, only 1% a month.
1.7% per
It's
month.
still crazy high.
As of last year would have been like, wow, that's a lot of growth in 1 month.
Yeah.
But after we saw those 5 and 10% months earlier this year, 1.7 seems relatively
Yeah.
milquetoast.
But
Huh?
South Austin compared to Austin, like we're not seeing the flattening of the prices, like they're still climbing, right? And I'm gonna blame Northern 4.5 for a lot of that because we're seeing kind of 04 kind of bleed into 4.5.
Yeah.
So you're seeing a ton of new construction in Northern 4.5. So there's lots of fancy new houses over there. I saw a $1.8 million listing sell in Northern 4.5 the other day. It's a beautiful house, 3,000 square feet, but that's just setting some new highs over there, right?
Yeah. So that is that. That's what's happening in Austin and South Austin for the stats this month. We hope you guys enjoyed this, got something out of it. If you know anybody who's looking to buy, sell, invest, do all the things related to real estate, or just needs some information, we really love helping and we'd love to help out. Yeah.
All right, thanks gang. We'll see you next month.
Bye guys.